Agency and Control is the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. The agency has happily intercepted consignments of a dangerous addictive substance known as Colorado. Now, Colorado is a street lingo for the synthetic cocktail of psychotropic drugs concealed in vehicles imported from Montreal, Canada, at the Tincan Island port in Apapa and at the Murtala International Airport, Lagos. NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi said the drugs were concealed in parts of cannabis, cannabis juice, and were flown in from South Africa. 2 dock workers, Abdulquadri Abdulazeez, are in the NDLEA custody. We are in deep trouble, Wale. We're in deep trouble.
I think one thing we cannot run away is the fact that there has been a kind of paradigm shift in the past few months or years that Marwa took over that leadership. They imported these items, put them in containers. They said there were 2 cars there, 3 cars, but eventually there were 2 with spare parts coming from Montreal in Canada. One significant thing is that those things, the drugs were not discovered by the Canadian intelligence, in spite of the sophistication. But in Nigeria, we were able to discover them. So I think I say kudos to the intelligence network of the new NDLEA under Marwa. I think he has been doing a lot of good jobs. Between January and the first 6 months of this year, drugs that were seized were in the range of about 6 billion. You can imagine if that they have succeeded. Naira. Yeah, 6 billion naira. In fact, in Cross River alone, for about 10 months, about 200 million worth of drugs. So I think the NDLEA under Marwa, in fact, I'm impressed. But I'm not surprised. When he was governor of Lagos State here, you can remember his program for the area boys. Employed them. They were sweeping, planting trees in Alausa and all that. So I think this man, he deserves an award from Nigerians. NDLEA is doing an excellent job. And I think it's a big plus. Because drug is not something that is good for any society. It causes, hallucination, affects the liver, diminishes the potentials, of people, and destroy the future of our children. So we need to fight drugs with all the strength that we have. So I say kudos to NDLEA, and I hope they will do more in the coming year.
Okay, there's room for more. Jide, at the time, Nigeria was considered a transit camp. We are no longer a transit camp. We are neck deep in it. So, as I said, kudos to Marwa. But we can go further. We go after the barons and so on. Yes. It's possible.
We are getting hold of the barons already. Some are on trial. And the man behind the massive importation of tramadol.
Okay, yeah.
Is on trial. There was another one that was linked with even the drug that was brought into our country that led to the arrest of the most decorated policeman in Nigerian history, Abdulquadri. So they've been going after these barons, and some of them are even losing their homes, because once you are arrested, the NDLEA will get hold of your properties and get a court order for you to have them forfeited. The whole idea is so that when you come out of jail, you can't fall back on the process of crime. You can't fall back on the process of crime to say, okay, let me begin to pick up the pieces of my life once again. All those things, the money that you made from crime, houses that you built with it, you lose. That way, you will not have any reward that you can hold on to for indulging in this kind of crime that destroys the lives of our young people. It's been a massive 12 months for the NDLEA.
Yeah.
So many achievements have been recorded. And you ask yourself, did we not have NDLEA before now? How come with the same staff, he didn't bring in his own staff? He inherited the staff. Yet, the staff are better motivated, they are better galvanized to deliver the goods. So it has to do with the leader. Yes.
The word is leadership.
When you can see that your leader has exemplary conduct, when you can see that your leader will not condone bad behavior, abhorrent behavior, you know that you have to align. And I asked him, when I interviewed him, I asked him, I said, what did you say to them on your first day? He said he didn't say anything extraordinary. And he didn't bring in his own staff. He just promised them that, look, you have my support. You give your best, you'll be rewarded. Some of those men have been killed by barons. They told me that they've lost some of their men. It's not easy to go after people who have the capacity to own up to 10 houses in Banana Islands, houses in Lekki and other places. People bringing in drugs valued in excess of 10 billion. They are not small fries in the society. They can go to great lengths to cover the crimes that they commit. But the NDLEA operatives will be offered money, the kind of money that I once described as life-changing money. Yet we've seen them refuse to be compromised and fully focused on making sure that we defeat drug illicit drug addiction in our country. We are still a transit camp. I mean, a transit destination. At the same time, we are a nation of big consumers of narcotic drugs. It's a big problem. Cannabis, for example, is the only one of those drugs of cannabis. Sometimes you ask yourself, is it that this thing has been legalized? Well, it's not been legalized. And people have suggested to NDLEA that maybe we should be legal, and the NDLEA is saying no. If it is this bad, even when they've not legalized it, you can imagine what will happen once it is legalized. I don't know if you saw the video of one rat that went viral.
Okay.
The rat was found in one of the offices of the NDLEA. It apparently had consumed some portions of cannabis, and then it began to twist. You know, at one spot, it was doing these 360 degrees, and it wouldn't stop. And I'm like, so even for animals, you can imagine the kind of impact. Some portions of cannabis, and it began to just twist. To a human being. You know, very swift 360-degree turn like that, and it was doing it with so much speed. You know, so I just hope that Marwa and his people will sustain the momentum, because at the rate at which they are going, the successes are glaring. We just hope that momentum will be maintained.
Well, quickly, it would mean to me, I may be wrong, that pre-inspection exercises have improved.
Yeah, definitely. Not just pre-shipment. Shipment. I think they have also increased the intelligence network. You know, so they are able to know that this, container. They get information that they need to give special attention to particular containers. So the intelligence network, I think, is quite impressive.
Yes, they told me that that massive haul that they had the other day, they actually came through the waterways. Yet they got that information and we are waiting for them.
So it is possible, as they were always saying.
It is. All it takes is for us to be focused, on our goal.
All right, to our next story. Let's talk raw politics now. On this special day, I stretch forth